Murder Casserole. Yeah. This is Portland's favorite true crime comedy talk show, and we did not take a poll for that. We're just saying that shit, all right? We do this every first Monday right here in the beautiful, cozy confines of Covert Café. Make some noise for the room. Oh, yeah, let's do some jokes. Let's do some spooky, dumb jokes. You guys ready for some spooky jokes? Hey, yeah, all right. Hey, I got my writers to send me some hot ones, and by my writers, I mean me. Okay, yeah. What do you call a 70s horror movie set in the South where the villain just victimizes people's eye makeup? Call it the Texas Chainsaw Mascara. Oh. Pretty spooky. Oh, how is this show gonna work, you're asking? Well, like I said, it's a true crime comedy talk show, so I got 3 panelists that are gonna come up here. I'm gonna tell them a true crime story. They're gonna play a game with me, and then when we're done with all of that, we're gonna do some stand-up. Sound like a fucking plan? Say hell yeah. Oh my God, you sexy little room, you tight little room, yeah. Is that creepy yet? I like it. That's what I gotta do it. Spooky joke number 2. Okay. Hey, did you guys hear about the Energizer Bunny? He got arrested recently. Did you guys hear about this? Yeah, the charge was battery. We got it from the crowd. We got a fuck you from the bartender. That's a perfect segue. Make some noise for Cody behind the bar. Make some noise for Joe making the food. Make some noise for Joe Mishkin on the ones and the twos. Oh my God, those 3 men, they hired me knowing that I do this. I did this before I worked here. I bartend here, I tell dark, stupid jokes here, and sometimes I sing a song here. Yeah, I'm a real jack off of all trades. Pretty spooky. All right. That's a bonus one. All right, let's get one more spooky joke. Spooky joke number 3.5. All right. Hey, did you hear that there's a new camper van? Ford made a new kind of camper van? Yeah, they just roll it out. It's the Gabby Petito model. Yeah. It comes with toxic masculinity already installed, a whole bunch of relationship tension, and enough storage room to store a dead white girl. Pretty spooky! That's what we do. That's how we soften things here at Murder Casserole. All right, guys. You guys want to start the show? Should we start it? Yeah. Oh, my God. Thank goodness. Let me bring your first panelist up here. This dude, big supporter of the show. He loves the murder. He loves the blood talk. He did a guest spot for us. He's fucking hilarious. Make some noise for Luke Miller! Get up there. Get on it.
Thanks for getting a bigger chair.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, how about it? Isn't that chair nice?
Sunk in here nice and
good. Oh,
good.
yeah. No, there's a million cigarette holes in that.
Yeah, don't talk about me like that.
Yeah, man. How you doing? How you doing today,
good.
Luke?
I'm damp.
You're damp, yeah.
Yeah, I'm soaked.
That's how it goes. Ooh, yeah. Out of, like, horniness or?
Sweat.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I tried.
A little bit of rain.
A little bit of rain, a little bit of sweat. You like the true crime stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm erotic.
Yeah. So, what is your history with true crime? Why are you into it? Why do you like the darkness?
I grew up in a dark town. Pocatello, Idaho. Dark,
Jesus, yeah.
evil little place, named after a chief. So that's cool. Radical. No, 3 kids died every year like clockwork in my hometown, and it just keeps happening. So we all have an affinity for darkness.
Yeah, why? What's killing kids in Pocatello?
Drinking and driving.
Oh, sure, yeah, that's That's
drinking,
a sadder answer than I wanted.
walking off cliffs.
That's funny. Just not knowing where the ground ends.
Yeah, it's just dark. It's dark, and you didn't know.
You did say that. I thought it was metaphorical, but no, it's really a sight issue.
Yeah, you know the book Where the Sidewalk Ends?
Yeah.
Yeah, written about Pocatello.
No shit, Shel Silverstein. How about that?
All the cliffs.
You know what else he wrote? A Boy Named Sue.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I bet you didn't know that. Yeah. This is informative, this show.
Yeah.
It's not just about the mushity mush.
Jonathan
all right?
R. Cash.
Yeah. Oh, Jonathan R. Yeah. All right. So let me ask you a question to get into this first case. We do themes for this one. I pick 3 cases on a theme. This show's theme is killer families. Make some noise for your family. And them helping you murder people. That's what we're talking about here tonight. So we got 3 tasty cases for this one. This first one, we're going to get in the time machine for it. We're going to go back to the Old West times, Luke. Old West times, yeah. We're talking about the Bloody Bender family. Make some noise for them. Yeah, I know you're familiar with this case. Has anybody else in the crowd heard about the Bloody Benders? Oh boy, you get to break it to him.
Yeah.
This is a good one. What do you know about this? Give a quick rundown. What do you think?
Naughty little freak family.
Yeah.
They were just freaking off a little bit too hard. And I want to say it was Appalachia.
It was Nebraska. It was the
Nebraska,
Plains,
okay,
which is somewhat scarier.
Yeah, flat and murderous.
Yeah, there's just nothing there.
But yeah, they were all just like inbred and horny and full of bloodlust, and that's kind of more or less it. Right?
That's and they started murdering travelers. So let me ask you, we'll go into it, but let me ask you this first question. What would your next step be when your family starts robbing and killing settlers, and why would it be cannibalism?
Honestly, I would go to law school. Help the family out, get a little munch on the side here and there. Yeah.
That's a smart way of doing it. Yeah.
Paid in meat.
Look at you, capitalist.
Yeah. More like crapitalist, am I right?
Yeah.
All right.
So let's set the scene. It's 1870s, small town Nebraska, the gateway to the frontier. And as you're right, a family of little freaky freaks happens onto this area of Nebraska and decide to start up a traveler's inn in their home on the edge of this small town. It's literally out in what you could call the Sea of the Prairie. And I know what I'm talking about. I'm from Iowa. We're one state over. Iowa is not as flat as Nebraska. I just want to get that out right now. Okay, Nebraska is far worse. It is Midwestern swampland. It's fucking gross, all right? It's fucking depressing to drive across, all right? If you've ever done the I-80 trip, it's great. But yeah, have you ever had a runza? This is a detraction, but
a runza?
do you know what a runza is?
I have no clue what a runza is.
Oh, it's a fast food restaurant, and their signature dish is called a runza, and it's smashed up ground beef in a puff pastry with cheese and onions and shit inside. It's Eastern European, and it's called a runza because that's what it's gonna give you.
Yeah, make me runza to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's the joke about it. That's a little Midwestern piece, a little thing from your boys from the flyover states. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I say family. I'm putting that in quotes though, because there is a theory that none of these people were related to each other at all. The Bender family. You had John Bender Sr., mostly known as Old Man Bender, the patriarch, and his wife Ma or Nancy Bender, and they were fucking weirdos. Like you say, they would go to town and just be like, do you know when you're gonna die? I know when your mom died. Want to talk about it? You want to stay at my house before you go prospecting for gold? It's weird. It's a pretty good time. So they set up in this remote house as an inn. They start taking in travelers. And then you also got the 2 kids of the Bender family who were adults when all this is going on. John Jr., a.k.a. Jack Bender, was just known for being very sexually forward to everybody in town. Men, women, everybody. He was just like trying to fuck. We all know that guy.
We love a pansexual king.
We love a pansexual king, Jack Bender. Give it up for him right now. Yeah. Also, you got Kate Bender. Kate's the trippy one. Kate's the one that they called the vampire, the one daughter of the family who may or may not have been fucking Jack and the old man, if you believe that they weren't really family, and just a polycule masquerading as one, also known as going out in Portland. Yeah, I'm just going to let that sit.
Pretty spooky.
Pretty spooky. Yeah, there we go. All right. No, yeah, so that's the whole family, those four. Do you have any memories of creepy neighbors, Luke?
Yeah. No. My dad was one of them. Yeah. If you can't identify the neighbors to your right or your left, they're the creepy ones. It's your papa.
Yeah. What did he do that was creepy?
Oh, go to prison for getting caught, No,
I think you're being purposely evasive. What did he go to prison for?
We all know. No, you know.
I don't think we do. Is it pedophilia?
Whole bunch of pedophilia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A whole bunch of it. He was taking it downtown. Bobby Brown. He was getting out of hand. And then my uncle John, we caught him watching porn at Christmas one year, and he did not apologize.
No, that's his prerogative. He's a grown man. He's a sovereign citizen. Why would he need to stop watching porn at
You're
family
telling
Christmas?
me, brother. Vietnam vet. Give it up for our vets, everybody.
Hey, give it up for the creepy habits. USA. We have a veteran on the show tonight. Yeah. That's pretty fun. We represent all people. So basically, after a relative complained about not hearing from one of the bender's victims, that was the only time that the townsfolk investigated. There was multiple people who would show up in town, say, I need some place to stay, go stay at the Bender Inn, and then it was kind of a perfect crime because they were expecting to be gone out into the frontier after that, so you weren't expecting to hear from anybody. But after months and months and months, relatives were like, so-and-so said they were going to send me word when they got to Oregon or California or whatever, and they didn't. So eventually, a massive letter-writing campaign happens, also getting the newspapers involved because that's how you get shit done in this country, is trial by media. Evidently, the townsfolk ran out there trying to find the Benders, get them to answer, and the place was empty. So they just tore the place apart and found the remains of about 13 people on the property, buried on the edge, and some of them had marks of butchery on their bones and muscles, implying that the Benders ate some of their victims. Hell yeah. Give it a, hey, we're getting there. It's a recession. Just start figuring out which neighbors look plumper.
Honestly, I'd try it. I'd give it a shot.
I mean, they call it long pork, and I'll tell you what, I love eating some dead pig.
Yeah, they call me short pork.
That's pretty good. Good. No, yeah. But apparently their method of murder, do you know anything about that?
They were thumpers, right?
They were thumpers, yeah, exactly. Damn, hell yeah. You're right. They are the family that partially Texas Chainsaw Massacre is based on, as you pointed out outside there, because there were a whole family that were cannibalistic, we think, and what they would do is that there was a big tarp separating the two main rooms of the inn, and the traveler would sit down to eat with the women, and as the women were distracting him, either Old Man Bender or Jack Bender would be on the other side with a sledgehammer, and they would just thump the dude through the tarp, and then he would fall down, and they would dump him into a pit, Sweeney Todd style, where they would go down and rob them all, take the bodies, cut it up, num-num. Legend has it that the Benders fled their home, and the posse of townspeople soon caught up with them at a river and shot them all, and then burned their bodies as they did to the Bender homestead. However, there are conspiracy theories, Luke. There are conspiracy theories that maybe just Kate Bender, the vampire woman, the daughter, got away and lived a normal life in Michigan. But they found a potential imposter, ran all the checks, and they're like, there's no way she could be doing it. She was in jail when all the murders happened. So I personally think, also the weird pop culture connection, Laura Ingalls Wilder. Do you guys know who that is? Yeah. The writer of Little House on the Prairie, you understand? She was living in Nebraska at the time. That's what all this shit is based on. Her dad was almost positively, she said later in life, involved in the lynch mob that killed the Benders, which I think is a fun addition. That never made it into the fucking show.
Call that Scarlet Fever.
Hell yeah. So I think that's what happened. But what crime would have to be committed near you, Luke, for you to want to join a mob of vigilantes?
Ooh, that's a good one. Probably like starting like an electric vehicle company.
Yeah.
And then becoming the worst guy ever.
Yeah.
I think I would tag along with the rest of the citizens.
Yeah, that's an easy answer for this.
Dump them good.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Track old Elon down to the river and then just be like, what do you got to say for yourself?
Of mice and men his ass.
Yeah, just be like, I'll tell you about the rabbits, Elon.
Yeah, live off the fat of the land.
I don't know if he deserves to be taken out so sweetly as at the end of Mice and Men.
You're telling me that Elon Musk hasn't grabbed a woman's dress a little bit too hard?
Oh, 100%. 100%. That ain't even
puppy
a question.
ears.
But that's the story of the Bloody Bender family. It's kind of open-ended at the end. It's one of those spooky, unsolved ones, you know? Back in the time where we were a real country and you could just go 20 miles west and nobody knew who you were. That's the dream. Ah! You know what that is? You know what we say to that? Pretty spooky. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, let's do the news. You want to do some news with me?
Dude, I'm in.
Hell yeah, man. So we got this news segment. This is true crime news of the day. We call this the Gory Gazette. Okay. I'm really proud of all of the names I came up with for these, as you can probably tell. All right, so let's get into these. I got 3 news stories for you. This first one's a local one. So a man down in Oregon City was recently convicted of manslaughter after causing a car crash while tripping on mushrooms, which killed 2 people. Person in the car he crashed into and his passenger in his car both died. And he apparently said, I want the love, to cops responding to the scene. They were like, do you need medical attention? He goes, I want the love.
I think he was talking about fentanyl.
Yeah. I always said, yeah, Seth Rogen went too method on this one. I knew that would hit with you. Yeah, yeah. You look like him, and you also have his wife's last name, I'm pretty sure. So you could be relative through marriage.
I look like Jonah Hill 10 years ago and Seth Rogen today.
Yeah.
Smashed into a
That's
guy.
good. That's good. That's the muse and the writer, if you think about it. That's, you know what I call that mashup, that coupling? Super bad. Pretty Everybody keep it going for Cody behind the bar. Keep it going. For the Hawaiian Peanut Gallery. I didn't need to bring race into it.
Really, it'd be macadamia nuts.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's what they grow.
Is that where they're from? I don't know anything about.
Get with the times.
I know.
Fuck me.
Fuck you. Yeah, this dude in Oregon City though, he'll probably get the love in prison, and by love I mean butthole attention.
Oh yeah, he'll get bread raw.
Yeah. But that's if you can't eat someone's ass out when you're incarcerated, is it really love? Something to think about.
He'll be tripping on some fun guys.
There we go. That's a better one. I should hire you as a writer. We don't have any money.
Just give me
all right.
mushrooms.
Give you some mushrooms. We can talk to Hardefeld. Maybe he'll subsidize our show. I don't know if I was supposed to say that on the live stream. That's fine. All right. Now, Gory Gazette news item 2, buddy. All right. A killer on Florida's death row is set to be executed tomorrow, actually, but his lawyers are trying to get a stay of execution by saying he's too obese to be humanely killed via lethal injection.
Join the fucking club.
Yeah, dude. It's an asset, this gut here, all right? Get yourself some beers. Get some bacon, all right? By the way, Florida Tourist Bard, I think I found your new slogan.
Dude, how dope would it be not to be able to fit in the electric chair?
Oh, my God. What a weird cosmic revenge that is.
I'm too wide.
Well, here's the thing. The people we execute have all done, like, pretty horrible things. We're an anti-death penalty show here at Murder Casserole, but that generally I don't feel too bad in the actual event unless there's a good reason that the person's probably wrongly convicted. You know, that's a problem with it, obviously. But, like, it's a thing. There's historical precedent for this. When they tried to execute John Wayne Gacy, it fucked up because they can't find a vein right, and there's no doctors who do executions. So it took John Wayne Gacy like an hour to die via slow poisoning, which is, you could call karmic revenge, I guess. But this is a real concern. But yeah, man, Florida needs to change their state motto to move here, kill a woman, too fat to be executed. You guys are into this. You guys are really enjoying this dark shit. Oh, we lost one. All right.
What do you want us to do?
What do you want? You came to a show called Murder Casserole. The logo is a vulture holding an axe. What did you think was happening, Covert
He was
Café?
a pointy-faced clown.
Pointy-faced clown,
Scary.
John Wayne Gacy. All right, I like him. He's a hero. Personally, not professionally. All right, last one. In human crime news, Elon Musk has taken to stand-up comedy. I don't know if you guys saw this. He did a stand-up set recently to bitch about people trashing Teslas. Yeah. In all fairness, comedians do love shitty cars. It's kind of our thing, famously. Yeah. But hey, I want to say something. I'm gonna put it right down the barrel of the camera for the live stream, okay? And all I want to say, let's hear Elon out. Okay, let's be kinder to Elon, okay? Elon, I want to say directly to, if you're a fan, if you identify with the art medium and form of stand-up comedy, I think that's great, and I'm rooting for you. But I would encourage you to engage with that deepest core feeling amongst comedians. Identify with that feeling, which is fucking kill yourself. Pretty spooky. Yeah.
Pretty spooky. You know, I heard he bombed so bad we had to take it out on the Houthis.
Oh, Jesus. He was like, I did not like that. Here's the thing is, I know he's South African, but he does sound like a Nazi. It's a little too perfect. Like, yeah. It's pretty fun. But those are all the news stories, and that's the true crime case I got for you, Luke. What'd you think?
We did it, yeah.
Yeah, we did it. All right. We're going to see more of Luke later when we get to the stand-up part, but make some noise for him now. It's Luke Miller. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my good golly gosh. Plowing on through, folks. Plowing on through. We got another panelist for you. This next comic coming up here, I'm proud to call him a buddy. He's hilarious. You might have seen him on a different famous Nazi show. You know, but he did very well on it. He made them laugh, which if we can't do that, what are we doing? All right. Everybody make some noise for my good buddy, Juan Denmark. Seat.
Did someone say Nazi?
There we go. Is that for you? Are you getting it?
What am I getting?
I don't know. I feel like there's a thing called the third estate. We've talked about it on this show where you get so progressive you then come back to being alt-righty. I'm not accusing you of anything.
No, I don't think I'm what's progressive? Like, define progressive for me. Give me what is progressive.
Well, it's changed meanings because
Yeah,
it's certainly not the Teddy Roosevelt progressive party model of like 1902.
This is a different type of society we live in. I like to call myself independent. I don't like
that's probably better. You don't get bothered as much.
Yeah, it's either associate myself with angry white people on the right or angry white people on the left. It doesn't matter. They're all angry.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's kind of like an Ari Shaffir thing where none of it's all so loud, none of it bothers you anymore.
It doesn't, you know. Fuck, what?
I've been there. I register as a Republican, but
really,
yeah, but
nice. But fuck yeah, dude! I did not expect that.
But that's so I can vote in primaries to say who the Republican candidates are going to be in the general election. So it's who I'm going to be voting against. I want to pick the worst one.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
The last time when I voted independent. I voted for the independent party. And that's So I'm an independent, registered independent.
Hell yeah!
Fuck yeah, dude!
Clap for it, I guess. It's working about as well as any other one. Yeah. Wait, I didn't mean to do this.
No, you did mean to do this. Let's fucking do it.
Two dudes
We're
in
here now,
denim shirts talking politics at the True Crime Show. That's not going to go haywire.
Anytime there's too much denim, the word Nazi just falls out of people's mouths. I don't know what happens. It's something about denim.
I think it's more the man in the denim than the Nazis, I think.
Shit.
But I'm saying that about both
Who created
of us.
denim? Where is the denim creator?
Levi Strauss? I don't know.
Strauss?
I think there was a dude named Levi Strauss.
Strauss is Nazi adjacent, guys.
That sounds Jewish. I feel like I know a Jewish. We're not going to get into this further. All right, I'm gonna walk myself into something that I'm gonna regret. I'm 2.5 beers in, and they're gonna give me more. They don't cut me off here, and it's nice.
They
what I
can't
like
cut
about
you off.
this
You can go behind the bar and serve yourself. You can
No,
yourself.
we can't do that. Live stream. That's not something we do here.
Just kidding.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
But this guy is Irish, so you can't trust him when
you
it comes
can't.
to beer.
I'm shifty and swarthy and drunk. That's the thing. All right, let's get into this case.
Hell yeah.
I got a good case. This is Great Depression era. Pew 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 pew. Gangsters.
Ooh,
Public Enemies era.
We're approaching the 30s.
It's what's gonna happen. This is what
this
people
is the new
who
30s.
this case we're talking about. People who could do this are probably children right now. That's the era we're in right now.
Okay.
We're talking about the Barker Carpus gang. Make some noise for them.
We don't know what they did. We can't make noise first. We got to know what they did
you can make
first.
noise for the event, Juan. For the event, they're making noise. You understand? But yeah, no, the Barker Carpus gang were a Depression-era family gang of 3 brothers plus their mom.
Oh, hell yeah.
Plus this dude, Alvin Carpus, who were a bank robbing and kidnapping gang during the Great Depression. Yeah,
Bank robbing and kidnapping?
Yeah.
Were they kidnapping kids or kidnapping adults?
Adults.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, we're going to get into it. They kidnapped the right people. Yeah.
You know what's funny? You ever like go outside and you see like a missing poster and it's like an adult man? I always laugh at those. I've never looked at an adult poster of a man and not laughed. I'm like,
why don't you know where you're at, bitch?
Figure it the fuck out, dude. Fight for your fucking life, all right? If you get kidnapped as a grown man, that's your fault, bruh.
Yeah, human trafficking does not mean adult men generally.
It's those and missing bird posters. Like,
Oh,
dude,
yeah, get
let the
fucked. Let
fucking
the
bird
bird
be
go.
free, you fucking dickhead. You cut trees to use these posters to find a bird that should be free in these trees that you use to promote your fucking enslaved bird, you dickhead. Fucking Portland, you guys are a piece of shit city, all right? Progressive my ass. You took slavery to a new level, all right? You're enslaving grown pussies and birds.
You love this. This is amazing.
I'm sorry.
No,
I just want Joe to not post this on YouTube.
Your goal is to make this unairable. Dude, it's being live streamed.
I know,
There's nothing we
that.
can do.
I saw that. I'm still like the only viewer right now. I'm still
Oh, you got it on? Hey,
well,
hey, we appreciate that. We want our participants to be our audience too.
Fuck yeah, let's
Hell
get to
yeah,
it.
let's
So
get
they're
to it.
kidnapping, they're bank robbing and
Yeah.
kidnapping. Oh, are they
Well-
bank robbing are they kidnapping the teller?
No,
that's pretty
no.
cool.
We'll get
You know
to
what I
it.
mean?
We'll get to it. It's better than that. So,
Hell yeah.
Juan, let me ask you, just to start this off, how could you make a bank robbing business work with siblings as gang members and dragging your mom around the whole time? How would you make that work?
Okay, how could I make?
'Cause I
bank
know you have
robbing work
siblings.
with siblings as the
Yeah.
members.
Your
and my
siblings are your
mom-
gang members.
So the mom's definitely in charge. She's the one
Yeah,
running the
that-
real operation.
yeah.
Like even if she's not the leader, like she's the leader. You know what I mean? Like if shit gets out of hand,
She's the puppet leader.
she's like,
at
"Hey
least.
guys, you guys have gone too far." Fuck yeah, make some noise for Joe.
You want to
fucking
put that on the
taking care.
table?
Coming in clutch with the fucking coaster, dude.
Very nice.
Hell
That's
yeah.
nice. That's a real service joint
See, that's
here.
the type of shit moms would do on the bank robbery. They would
Yeah,
just
it'd
like
be like,
insert,
"Come on.
insert little niceties. You know what I mean? They're
Is
like,
your
"Honey."
gun polished?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, "Honey, you forgot your gloves."
You're gonna go out in public with that mask?
Yeah, that mask is frayed.
That
Come on,
ma-
they're
yeah,
gonna
come on.
totally identify you.
The women at church are gonna talk. So, contempt. These guys were contemporaries of Bonnie and Clyde, John Dillinger, Babyface Nelson. The Barker Carpus gang was both more successful and more brutal than all of those other more famous criminals combined. All right, their bank hauls when they did robberies always beat the shit out of Dillinger and Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde were small potatoes, frankly.
It's because Bonnie and Clyde, they were encapsulated by love and affection.
Yeah.
And lust. Like when you have your mom, like there's none of that horny shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the mom just cuts out horny shit. Anytime my mom's around, my dick goes soft, guys. Like
There's some horny shit in this.
Oh, is it?
But it mostly becomes there's thoughts. I think it was some FBI propaganda of saying that Ma Barker might have been like fucking or molesting some of her sons. But the real horniness in this is that their dad abandoned the family when they were kids. They're a family of the 4 brothers and the mom were a family of petty criminals from the start. They're from Oklahoma. They're just pre-Depression era petty crime. And every time the boys would rob something from like a store or whatever, they'd bring it back and show their mom, and their mom would go, "Good job."
Wow.
All right,
That's
so
all
you
we
got-
are. That's all we're looking
Yeah,
for.
that's all
like,
you want.
Bank
is the mom
robber
to
or not.
accept you.
Just mom, tell me I did a good job. Thank you.
Yeah. So through prison, the oldest brother, Fred, meets this guy, Alvin Karpus, who's kind of like the mastermind of all this. He finds this family, and he starts, this guy's nickname, Alvin Karpus's nickname was Old Creepy.
Okay.
I'm kind of jealous it's already taken, frankly. Pretty spooky. But so they hang out. Fred, Lloyd, Herman, and Doc Barker. Those are the 4 Barker brothers. Lloyd
Barker
gets
boys.
involved into a big robbery, gets sent on a chase, and then eventually kills himself in a standoff with the police.
Are these
okay?
guys related to the drummer, Barker?
Travis Barker?
Travis
I don't
Barker?
think so.
That'd be pretty fucking cool.
I don't think any of them had kids. I think this is where this chapter of the Barker line ends.
Damn.
It's not spoilers, but
Okay.
they all end up in prison or dead. So that's the thing. But they always were accompanied by the mother, Kate. Now, a lot of people said that, including J. Edgar Hoover, said that Kate was like the ringleader.
Oh, so they made it to the president.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. Okay,
J. Edgar Hoover was the head of the FBI. Herbert Hoover was the president. But they intersect. But it's the whole thing. So the boys carefully orchestrated bank heists, which often led to dead cops. Cops would show up. There'd be a shootout, Tommy guns in the street. You know, it's like Public Enemies and stuff. But they kidnapped a friend of FDR when they moved into kidnapping because bank robbery was getting too much heat on it, you understand? Wow. So they kidnapped a personal friend who was like an heir. The people they kidnapped, rich mega billion. They were kidnapping the Barron Trumps of their era.
You know what's crazy is like in this day and age, no one's doing those type of.
No, because it's too hot. And then the Lindbergh baby happens, a kid gets killed, and then there's a massive law against kidnapping. That's how you
effectively protest, like. Yeah. The street protests are dead, bro. They're just a nuisance to people.
Oh, I
going
heard
to
about
work.
the one recently. This one that was on the 5th where they
people kidnap a motherfucker.
People were
these
complaining
days.
that there weren't things for kids to do at the protest. I'm like,
teach them how to tie knots. So we
give
can
them a fucking
people.
tiny Molotov cocktail and teach them how to throw it, how to deal with that. All right. But they ended up kidnapping. This is a personal thing for me. They kidnapped and successfully held for ransom the heir to the Ham's Brewing Company.
Hell yeah.
Oh, my. William Ham Jr. They kept him for a week with blacked out goggles on his eyes the whole time so he didn't see who had kidnapped him. And the dude paid over, what was at the time, I think it was $250,000, $250K.
Oh, nice.
Which is now like $3 fucking mil or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know the exchange
Back
rate.
then,
But yeah.
Hell yeah.
But that's very good. So, Juan, let me ask you, which heir of which company would you kidnap?
The company that creates weapons. Yeah.
Oh, so like Lockheed Martin, you
yeah,
get one of those
I need to do
guys?
something that's an actual political move that would actually effectively make change.
You could
in
do a
our
double down
society.
with Tesla if you who's the guy? Blackwater. That's the mercenary group that funds most of Tesla.
No,
it's like they're the main owner of Tesla.
You gotta go for like the weapons creators. You gotta go for.
I'm thinking JD Vance's wife.
Nah, she's brown.
The optics are horrible.
They would take
but
it
like,
as a win. It'd be like, all right,
he
Jay,
married her. Like
he just finds a new wife. You know, it's real easy.
No, you're right. He's probably got a couple in the queue, I'd say.
He's young. I'd go for dudes. I'd go for like a family who's like in charge of the weapon creation. I'd look for whoever's in charge of the largest amount of real estate ownership. I'd go for him.
Okay.
I'd go for the actual CEO of like the people who run the pharmaceutical company, like not like a specific company, but like the dude who created
Tommy Monsanto.
I'm going after the guy.
You're going after the top, like, because United Healthcare is already done.
Yeah.
So you go for like the Blue Cross Blue Shield.
That's like what's his
publicly
you
funded.
just switch him out. You get a new one. He does the same shit. We got to go for somebody who can't just do the same shit.
You need a secret list.
Like shit changes after I kidnap this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I need shit to change.
Yeah, you want to bankrupt the company you're taking.
I want the
money,
price
you're
of eggs to
getting
go
rid of.
down immediately. After I need
that's the dude, the Anderson Erickson heir. That's who you kidnap.
Yeah, I need to be like, dude, all right, just give him eggs. All right, we need this guy to come back.
The heir to the Dairy Gold fortune. That's who you kidnap. Tom Tillamook. You kidnap him. Yeah. Okay, but all good things have to come to an end. So before the FBI cracked down, Herman. Sorry, I fucked up. Herman is the one who shot himself in a standoff. Lloyd was sent to Alcatraz for stealing mail. Doc.
What type of mail though? Like That makes him sound so
It's
weak.
a federal crime. If you
like,
he's
what type
stealing
of mail?
money from the post office.
Okay, there
I'm
we
sorry.
go. Yeah, make it sound cooler, bro.
And like paychecks that are in the mail.
if he's just stealing
Like
like
traveler's
fuck,
checks.
if he's just stealing like fucking Dear John letters and shit, that's not
That's
sufficient.
a menace. That's
What type of asshole is this guy?
Doc was later imprisoned for his role in a cop killing. Now, Karpus, Alvin Creepy Karpus, got by J. Edgar Hoover, who said he arrested him, but actually didn't. He sent his goons in first. It was a big problem. The story of J. Edgar Hoover could be its own like hour-long thing. That guy has so much blood on his hands and so many dresses on his body. He liked to cross-dress. That's the thing about J. Edgar Hoover. I don't know if you guys know that.
He would have done well in Portland.
All he needed was to get to Portland right now, and then he wouldn't have done any of the horrible shit he did. Patriot Act, that's J. Edgar Hoover's fault. All right. Ma and Fred eventually, though, finally, they holed up in this house down in Ocala, Florida on this lake. And by the way, in the later days of the gangs, fucking Fred Barker is just taking his Tommy gun out to the swamp and trying to shoot alligators. Oh, wow. Like, he's just throwing them chickens, and then when the alligators pop up, he's like, ha-ha, see?
That's fucked up.
I think that's fun. Maybe that just leans to how I have fun, which is shooting things. So eventually, though, the FBI caught up with Ma and Fred living in there, and after an 8-hour gun battle / standoff.
8 hours?
8
That's a lot
hours.
of
They're just
artillery.
shooting from the windows. They go
damn.
in. Fred has been hit by multiple bullets. He's dead. Ma's been hit by one shot to the head. So people think, was it Fred, when he's dying, kills his mom out of mercy, or did she actually pick up a Tommy gun and was like going to town against the agents? And nobody quite knows. But the idea that Ma was the leader of the gang had to be the case for J. Edgar Hoover afterwards, because he couldn't have just said, we shot a 68-year-old woman next to her son down in Florida with no criminal background. She had nothing on her, you know.
Those are the best.
So it was like, oh, this
accomplices.
is a horrible fucking PR thing. So they kind of reverse engineered it afterwards, like she must have been the leader of the gang commanding her sons. That was not the case. Ma's whole thing was she picked up boyfriends from around the country when they were on the run and took them with them so she would have a slam piece. And then when she was done, she would give the guy to her sons to kill. There's like multiple bodies of just Ma's old boyfriends. These guys just get to kill their stepdad over and over again.
Wow, talk about post-nut clarity.
That's the fucking dream, right?
That's a different level of post-nut clarity. You just get your kids to kill the motherfucker after
Yeah.
you're done.
So let me ask you,
Fuck
Juan.
yeah. Oh, shit.
You're in a shootout with the FBI. The only other person on your side is your mom.
Oh, fuck.
What's
here.
she doing? And at what point are you just taking her out to save her the embarrassment?
Well, my mom was a military veteran, so she can shoot.
Oh, so yeah, a while.
We're going out. We're dying together, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I would prefer me to die first, though.
Of
So,
course,
like,
right?
yeah,
You don't want to.
yeah.
I mean, we're all gonna have to, but you don't want to watch your mom die.
No, I can't watch my mom die. Not in that instance. I'd
No.
probably go out there on some gusto shit.
Oh yeah, I'd go out the
Eventually,
front door.
But like, we're gonna go to war. We're fucking
Yeah,
shooting,
yeah.
bro. We're not quitting. We're just gonna keep firing until we run out of bullets, and then once we run out of bullets, we'll just hug, and I'll just be over top of her, and we'll just you know what I mean? We'll go out like some G's, you know.
That's a weirdly beautiful image. Like that's very.
I mean,
sweet.
I'm here. I gotta.
Yeah,
be
yeah,
honest.
you got to say
Yeah,
it. You got to
yeah.
say it. These are the questions that I'm answering. You're doing the best you
that,
can.
That's
Yeah.
exactly how it would go out.
Hell yeah, I love that. Hey, that's the story of the Barker Karpus gang. Make some noise for them.
Yeah.
They weren't that bad. Yeah, they were
They were
murderers.
cool.
But everybody that they murdered kind of had it coming. Like, not to be like shitty. They didn't kill anybody they kidnapped. They always kept to the ransom thing.
This was pre-prohibition, right?
This was during Prohibition.
Yeah,
This
so
was at, like, the
they
height
got
of
the
Prohibition.
fucking brewery dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because you could still legally brew beer for non-alcoholic consumption. So the brewery at the time was doing fine. And they had all the money accumulated, so they're like, "Yeah, we're getting this guy." And in some states, like fucking Hams is a Minnesota beer, and I think they had a rule. It's like Midwestern sober, where it's like the liquor's illegal, but beer is fine. Oh. Yeah, they had different laws in the Midwest at that time for Prohibition.
Okay,
It's very weird.
You're a beer drinker, right?
No.
So, what alcohol beverage induces you closer to being a serial killer? Liquor or beer?
Oh,
Like,
definitely liquor.
Yeah, if you were going to be a serial
100%.
killer, liquor.
100%. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's why they don't serve me it here. That's why
What do
they're
you
just
what,
like,
what,
you get beer.
psychologically? What do you go through when
I think
when you're
tequila
inebriated?
makes you the most aggressive.
Makes you the most aggressive.
Makes me the most. I'm speaking in the second person, but yeah, tequila makes me the most aggressive. I think in terms of just like fuck you. What are you saying? Like I think if I were to get there, it would probably be on or scotch because I hate scotch, and that would infuse like the inner hatred. But whiskey puts you to a weird place quicker than most other alcohols.
Okay, if you were going to be an efficient serial killer, how would you get it done in 2025? In 2025, how are you getting it done on a large scale level?
I'm probably honestly, I'm probably targeting high up like business executives and CEOs so that the public is on my side, even if I do get caught. Like,
so you're
Luigi.
assuming this is like a suicide mission, basically.
Oh yeah, I think at that point you're kind of that's what would differentiate me from the serial killer is that I'd be like missionary. That's like what like not the lady on bottom, but like but it would be kind of like I talked about Bonnie and Clyde. Clyde Barrow's whole thing was that he's like, I'm gonna rob shit and steal shit until they kill me, because he had gone to prison at one point and he got raped in prison, and he's like, I'm never going back to prison but I can't go straight and narrow anymore, so I am running this out to the last minute, and the second they catch up with me, I'm gonna shoot it out with them and die that way. That's a hell so of a I think way. Like, and he wasn't a serial killer because he's motivated by money, and there was no cooldown period, and all that type of shit. But I wouldn't want to be a serial killer. I feel like I have to say that into the camera. I don't want to serial kill unless we're talking Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
My favorite cereal to kill is Trix.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love Trix.
I don't
or
think
Cocoa
Trix-
Puffs, or Kellogg's with you dump sugar in it and then you cut up bananas into the Kellogg's.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, I'll kill
Just
the
some
fuck
standard cornflakes.
I'll fucking kill the shit out of Kellogg's.
I'm big onto just Honey Nut Cheerios with a big slab of peach jam in there.
Do you squeeze honey in the Honey Nut Cheerios?
I've been known to.
Oh.
Yeah. It's pretty insane.
There's never been a Honey Nut Cheerio so dead until I poured honey.
All right, let's do this lion game. Let's do this game, shall we? So this next segment, we call it Lions No Crime.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of it's like two truths and a lie, but less. We have one truth and one lie for each of us, all right? We're going to read both of them in a row, each of us, and then we're going to each guess which one is true, and then the crowd's going to guess. So I'll
so you're admitting to a crime too?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
cool,
you're not the only one.
Cool.
No,
I
you're
thought
not
it
the
was
only
just
one. No.
Let's get
I didn't
the
pick
black
the
guy to
one.
admit to crime. Let's just get him. Let's get him.
The official position of Murder Casserole is that white people can commit crimes too.
Well,
Okay.
this is Portland.
Yes,
This is-
thank you for that clap.
This is
all
Portland.
right. So here are my two crimes. Number one, I once got in a fight at day camp at age 11 and knocked out another kid's tooth. There's one. Number two, I once trapped a rabbit in a snare and then felt bad, so I released it, clearly injured, into the woods.
I'm gonna go two because you explained it too. You went in too far detail.
That's too much detail. Is number two? Okay, Joe thinks two. You think two. What does the crowd think? Crowd thinks two.
Yeah.
Here's the problem: is that most of my crimes have to do with abusing animals, which is not really a great piece of evidence if I say that I'm not a serial killer, because that's how a lot of them. That's their open mic, is killing animals. That's how they get good. It's actually number one. I knocked a kid's tooth out at day camp. He called my mom a dyke, so I punched him.
Damn. So you.
So really more
is dyke
correcting a crime.
Is that a mean? Is that like a offensive word
for lesbians?
Yeah.
Yes, very
Okay.
much so.
I've met women who'd be like, "I'm a dyke." I'm like,
Yeah, there's something. It's almost kind of like the N-word. A lot of people are trying to take it back. You know, we have shows for that here. You know, that's cool. But those are my crimes. Juan, why don't you read your crimes out?
All right. I have two crimes. The first one is accessory to murder, and the second one is tax evasion. Yeah, make it real hard on the crowd. Make it fucking super hard on the crowd. You're like, fuck. Yeah, I know he doesn't pay his taxes, but
So, accessory murder can mean a lot of different things. That can just mean you knew someone was going to get killed, and then you knew someone was an asshole, and then they ended up dead. So that could mean. So can I ask more questions?
No.
Oh, okay.
You have to answer, right?
Yeah. I guess I have to say. I'm gonna say I want it to be tax evasion. I want it to be number 2. Because if it's accessory to murder, then I'm like, I cast this show too well this month. But I also, I'm going to go gonzo. I'm going to say it's accessory to murder. Crowd, what do you think? You think it's, okay, I'm hearing difference. What, do you think it's tax evasion? You think it's murder? We're split. Okay, I'm hearing more for murder.
I knew this was going to split
I think the room thinks it's accessory to murder.
I served in the military, guys.
Oh, okay. So definitely tax evasion. I feel like that was your answer. Yeah, but you were in the shit.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess, technically, I mean, no court's going to convict you of it.
I mean, courts have convicted people.
Yeah, but that's for, like, the bad stuff.
Yeah.
The really bad stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's a certain level of bad.
Well, there's a certain level.
I feel like I shouldn't ask too many questions if we're live streaming.
There's a certain level of military. It's not a certain level of bad.
You're right. You're right. So, like, the SEALs.
There's military that's like, all right, and there's military that's like, all right.
So you were an Army Ranger.
Yeah.
So, like, Saving Private Ryan. Yeah. Tom Hanks was your commanding officer.
Yeah, man.
They were Rangers.
I was an extra in there.
Were you?
Yeah, I was the guy tax evading.
In the background, yeah. So I'm pretty sure during World War II things were still segregated, but I'm gonna put on my history.
They just needed me to like reinforce the stereotype and then leave. They were like, all right, just come here for the evasion of taxes and then get out of here. Look, he doesn't pay his taxes. All right, he's gone. All right.
There we go. Well, okay, so you were accessory to many murders, many state-sanctioned murders. I got to say right now, based on what Luke said during his spot, is that we're like, we support veterans here, and now I think we're all rethinking
this
that.
city does not support veterans.
No, I'm saying this show.
The show.
Yeah.
The show.
We generally support the struggles of veterans after they're done being accessories to murder. But only then. Hey, everybody, make some noise for Juan Denmark. You're going to see more of him later when we get to the stand-up. Oh, my God. I got to ask, I don't know if our other panelist is even here. She's not here. Okay. Damn, dude. She was late. Well, we were supposed to have one more, but she's not here yet. So that's... No, it wasn't Kimberly. I know who I fucking booked, Kenny. God damn it. I know who I fucking booked, and I don't ignore Kimberly. But don't leave. We're going to salvage it. Oh, okay. You're smoking. All right. But luckily, guys, this is why we book guest spots. So... Without further ado, we got to have one female up here throughout the show. So, hey, a quick sub in. I'm so glad she's here. Everybody make some noise for a surprise panelist, Kimberly Nickel! Hell yeah. Hell yeah. This worked out fine.
Yeah, I love murder, so let's do it.
Yeah, you do. I bet you do. Hell yeah. How you doing tonight?
Oh, pretty good. It's not too bad. I'm feeling good that I got out on a Monday. That's nice.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that I'm super glad you're here. Otherwise, I'd have been fucked. Yeah, man. So, welcome.
Oh, thank you. This is good.
Yeah. I like that you have a cigarette butt necklace.
Yeah.
And then you sometimes wear Marlboro hats, and then you never have cigarettes to give me. What gives?
Because smoking's bad for you, so I don't smoke. It's not good.
Show me the charts. I haven't seen the charts.
Can I actually... My bag has all the charts. If someone could get the charts out of my bag.
No, leave the charts. Leave the chart.
Oh,
we don't want the charts. Charts are pretty spooky.
Yeah.
We're just going to keep sliding that in. We're just going to keep going. Hell yeah. Well, all right. I got one more family murder case for you, all right? Okay. But let me ask you a question first. This one takes place in the 1970s, also known as the heyday for true crime. That's when all the good stuff happened. That's why I look like this, because I just like the 70s. All right? The idea. I didn't live through it. But, Kimberly, let me ask you, what's the worst thing you've ever done with a cousin?
Oh, wow. I'm like trying to think. I have so many cousins, but I'm not close with any of them.
That's almost makes it better.
I know, but like it's been like, but I'm like it's been like since I was like 6 years old. I don't remember.
Ah, okay.
I don't know. Last thing I can remember actually doing with a cousin was like an Easter egg hunt, and I'm sure we probably broke some eggs and then
pretty
hit them.
bad.
Yeah.
Wait, did you do they were real eggs, like real like hard-boiled eggs that you're finding?
Yeah.
What the fuck? We just did the plastic ones that had like candy in them.
No one hard-boiled actual eggs. Thank you. Yeah.
In this economy? Oh, okay. In
So
19
many years.
Back in the before times where things were simple over Bush 2.
No, I'm not hoarding
Bush
eggs
1,
for-
sorry. Okay, well, we're talking about the Hillside Stranglers, Kimberly. That's the case I picked
Ooh.
just for you.
Ooh, thank
All right,
you.
yeah. Are you familiar with the Hillside Stranglers?
Yes, I am. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you know about them?
The two dudes were in a van and they were looking to pick up.
So, well, these weren't the that's the toolbox killers.
I think
But they
I'll-
operated in the same area of L.A. in the
Yeah.
1970s. There's like quite a few serial killing duos throughout history, but this guys were two cousins. There was Ken Bianchi and Angelo Buono, two Italian boys. Oh my God,
Ooh.
Buono!
Ew.
So Ken was born in New York and adopted from birth by an abusive mom who was hated Ken because of his bedwetting. Not just bedwetting. If you spoke like coarsely to this kid Ken throughout any time in his childhood, he would just piss himself. Like he was just a little pissy boy. All right, and his dad was kind of milquetoast. Just ended up getting cancer and dying when he was pretty young. So his mom decided to toughen Ken up by sending him out to L.A. to live with his adoptive cousin Angelo Buono, who was a car detailer second and a horrific rapist first. Angelo Buono, if you find a picture of him, he's got like a handlebar mustache and like slick back hair. He looks like a character from a Scorsese movie. You could see him with the pinky ring and everything. He molested his daughters. He molested his sons. He molested everybody around him. He was not a good guy, this Angelo. So let me ask you, Kimberly, if you were an adoptive mother to a future serial killer, how would you punish that pissy little bitch?
So I know he's a future serial killer. I was
In
like,
this scenario.
Okay. I would cut my losses. Like, you can get divorced and you can leave that family. If he's not
Yeah.
related to me, like, this dude must have, like...
Oh, so adopted children aren't real children to you. Interesting.
Well, I thought it was something like... I thought it was... Okay, my bad. Yeah, I guess.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna keep
I thought it was like I was
driving
a
it.
stepmom situation. I thought I
Oh
was
no
marrying into this. My bad,
they
my
could
bad.
not have biological children, so they adopted this kid and then proceeded to like abuse the fuck out of him.
Oh,
That's
that's not
sad.
cool.
All of these stories are sad. It's murder casserole.
Yeah, well, I know that, but...
So these cousins together killed 10 women as a duo. Okay, killed 10 of them, and then Ken killed 2 more up in Bellingham, Washington, by himself. But their method was often picking them up. They did have a van, or a nice car, because, like I said, Angelo was a car detailer, so he always had
I said he had a
access.
van up at the top, and Colin was so quick to say, no, that's the icebox.
Well, there was
murders."
2 of them. There's multiple. California at this time was rough. All right. So this is down in L.A. Pick them up, assaulting them, and then strangling them, as the name would denote, then throwing the bodies down canyons around the Los Angeles area. That's what would
Classic,
go.
yeah.
So eventually, Kenny moved up to Bellingham, Washington, with his wife and small child. They're both married while doing this. It's so weird.
That
But
is
they would,
weird.
Ken actually would excuse himself to go kill someone with his cousin Angelo by saying to his wife, "I'm going to play cards with Ange." So you could imagine that these guys are like the worst level of shithead, like Italian Teamster guys ever, that are just like, "Oh, what are we doing? You gonna choke the fuck out of that bitch or what, Kenny?" Thank you. You know what we say to that? Pretty spooky.
Yeah, it's pretty
Pretty spooky. All right, we've worn that out. But so after Kenneth gets arrested up in Bellingham for the murders he commits up there by himself, he tries to fake multiple personality disorder, like he's got an alter ego within him that is actually responsible for the murders. And now, multiple personality disorder and dissociative personality disorder are real things, but a lot of serial killers have faked it because it became like big news in the psychology world immediately, that was a thing that got people lesser like punishments for murders. which rightly or wrongly you could define, but a lot of serial killers, including Ken Bianchi, tried to fake it. And you could just tell because he doesn't change anything about himself. He just goes, I'm not Ken, I'm Steve. Exact same voice, exact same everything. Multiple personality, everything changes about their physiological presence.
Yeah, I like that he did enough research to know that this is a good defense, but he's like, I'm not going to read enough to know how to actually use it well.
Yeah, exactly. So eventually, during the interrogations, there's a whole documentary about this called The Hillside Stranglers on Max. That's what I use for research. And eventually, Ken Bianchi implicates his cousin Angelo Buono in the 10, at that point, unsolved murders that were happening. And this is why cops are shitheads, because there were so many murders happening off of highways in Southern California at that time that when Kenneth Bianchi ended up confessing, they went, oh shit, we didn't even know that one happened. They were like, oh, we thought that was this other dude's we caught. We've been trying to pin it on this dude. And it turns out, oh, she was one of yours? Okay, what about this one? Oh, that was one. Okay, there was just so many unsolved murders that it's mind-boggling to think of. Don't hitchhike in California if it's the 1970s. That's what I'm saying. But Buono eventually died after they were both convicted of multiple counts of first-degree murder. Buono died at San Quentin at the age of 67 in 2002. Now, Ken, he remains in prison in California. He's there to this day. He's in his 70s, and he is stuck by his multiple personality disorder, despite numerous court rulings from psychiatrists saying that he is completely sane and just like killing chicks. So, let me ask you to cap this off, Kimberly. What illness would you fake for the sake of less prison time?
Oh, I mean, obviously I don't want to say multiple personalities, so I'm going to say insanity,
Yeah.
I think it's like just do anything, sing, dance, talk, backwards.
Charles Manson route.
Yeah,
Just
do whatever I got to do.
act crazy so people won't beat you up. Yeah, that's the idea. I would do IBS because no one wants to get shitted on.
Hey, that's true.
Like they're taking me away and I just poop.
So they can never get you. You just always take,
Just always, anytime any official of the court touches me, I just poop. And I say, it's my irritable bowel. And then they're like, we got to put you somewhere else because in prison, it's not going to be fun. Nobody wants to get pooped.
Okay, that's good. For a long time, anytime people say they want like a superpower, I always joke and say I want to be able to throw up on command because that'll get you out of anything.
Yeah.
But I think poop is the next level.
Poop is the next one, yeah. Definitely. All right, that's the story of the Hillside Stranglers. Make some noise for the poop. We're going to do some trivia now. You ready for some true crime trivia?
Oh, that's me? Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, let's get this crime.
You're the panelist. I got 3 hot questions for you.
Okay.
That have to do with our theme, kind of.
Okay, murder.
Okay, this is our trivia segment. We call it Trivia. Because it's true crime. All right, so let me ask you this first one. They're multiple choice or true or false. Don't worry, I'm going to give you options. So, what was the nickname of Clyde Barrow's brother and right-hand man in his gang? Was it A, Duke Barrow, B, Buck Barrow, C, Buddy Barrow, or D, Mule Barrow?
Why is only? I want to go with Mule because it doesn't feel like any of the other ones, but I'm going to go with. Was there Buck Barrow?
Buck is an option. That's B.
Okay. I also like how you told me these are true or false, but this is multiple choice.
This one's multiple choice. I said they're all true or false or multiple choice.
That's my Buck Barrow. That's my final answer.
You think it's Buck Barrow? What does the crowd think? Buddy Barrow? Anybody else? You think it's Mule Barrow? I wish it was Mule. It's Buck Barrow. Yeah, there you go. One for Kimberly. Yeah. His real name was Marvin. Marvin Buck Barrow. All right. He got shot in the head, and then his brain was exposed for like days at the camp. They were on the run. It's a really gross story. Read Go Down Together by Jeff Gwynne. It's a great account of the Bonnie and Clyde crimes. All right. This next one's true or false, okay? And this is one for us Iowa-born people. How about it? All right. Yeah. Comedian Tom Arnold, from Roseanne, was Roseanne's husband, Tom Arnold. Yeah. His cousin, Lori Arnold, is known as the meth queen of Iowa. True or false?
Oh, I kind of hope that's true.
Going true? You're going false? True, false. It's false because Lori is his sister. Yeah.
It's
Tom Arnold's sister became the main the Walter White of the Midwest, which is kind of badass that it's a lady. Pretty dope. All right, one more for you. One more. This one's multiple choice. All right. How were frontier serial killing brothers Micah and Wiley Harp respectively executed by a posse? So how did they die? They both died separate incidences. Here are the two methods. I'm going to read them both to you. Do you think it was A, they were both shot? B, Micah was pulled apart by horses and Wiley was shot? C, Micah was decapitated and Wiley was hanged? Or D, oh, I just wrote both shot again. So it's not A or D. D, both hanged. Let's just say both hanged. Which do you think it is?
I want to say the one when someone gets decapitated. That's the one. What's the other dude?
Yeah. Micah being decapitated and Wiley being hanged.
Yeah,
That's actually correct. Yeah. That's 2 out of 3 for Kimberly Nickel, everybody. Oh, my God. Give it up for make some noise right now. There, you're dismissed for now, Kimberly. We're going to need you in a little bit, though, for the stand-up. That culminates our panel portion. Make some noise for all the panelists you saw. Oh, my God. Such a good time, such a fun time. I gotta, that's the extent of the talk show part, so I gotta cut off the stream now. I do this right down the fucking barrel of the camera. Hey, everybody that tuned into the live stream, I know we talked a lot about killing Elon Musk. Take that to your heart. You guys have a good one. Signing